We now turn to Anne-Marie Emmanuel, who invites us into her story, one of resilience, transformation, and the pursuit of true happiness. After decades living the American dream, Anne-Marie returned to her homeland of Trinidad, not just to rediscover her roots, but to discover herself. Through personal heartbreak, financial hardship, and soul searching, she realized that the greatest love of all comes from within.
Hi, I'm Anne-Marie Emmanuel, and this is my story of Rise Up. Who I am is the possibility of leadership, empowerment, and inspiration. And the stand that I have for my life is that every individual be empowered through self-acceptance, self-compassion, and self-love. So the roles that I take on to support that stand is a transformational coach, a retreat host, web TV show host, an international speaker, and an award-winning best-selling author. I was super excited to be selected to write a chapter in this book because, first of all, every opportunity that I get to collaborate with Lisa Nichols is a dream come true for me. And every opportunity that I get to share my story of self-love and transformation is something that really excites me. From a very young age, I've had a lot of challenges. And Lord knows I've had my share of pain and suffering throughout my years. But I've always had the innate ability to draw strength and resilience from the challenges that I experienced. I think society teaches us that we are supposed to be strong. We're supposed to keep moving on, to never give up. When we fall down, we should get up and keep going. That's what we do, and that's what I did, because I thought it was normal to do that. What I didn't yet understand was that the same strength and resilience that it took for me to get up and keep moving was the very same thing that was sabotaging me in some areas of my life, because strength and resilience was coming from a place of survival. And when we're operating from a place of survival, we're operating from fear. And when we're operating from fear, it's never self-serving. It's a different frequency from love. So being in the frequency of love has nothing to do with anything outside of myself. Instead, what it had to do with is the relationship that I had with myself, the viewpoint that I saw the world, the filters through which I saw the world, and the vibrational frequency that I was operating from. And understanding that was so freeing for me, because when I was able to work on those areas, then I was able to reach that place of self-love. The main things that I got from Landmark, of course, I got transformation, but what I also got was the tools and the distinctions to maintain that transformation. So the key insights that I got was, the first thing was, who I am is not who I am. So in the forum, I learned that who I was based on a set of past experiences, traumas, social and cultural constructs. So in the forum, I got to deconstruct all of that and create a clearing that would help me design a life that goes exactly the way I said it would go. One of the other insights that I got from Landmark was that I can create the life that I want. Their promise is that out of my participation with them, I can have anything that I want for my life. So I was forced to look at all the areas of my life and take responsibility for the way my life was going. In my book, Relationship, I referenced a book by Maureen Murdoch, which is called The Heroine's Journey. And I see that as equivalent to the experience that I had in building Cheryl's Grace. So in The Heroine's Journey, it talks about the 7 steps that one has to go through when they have a calling. So for me, the first step is the calling, and I answered the call by leaving my job in the United States to go and build the Enrichment Center. The second step is the refusal, and of course, I started second-guessing myself once I got there and dealing with naysayers who was telling me that it's not possible. The third step, of course, the dark night of the soul, with all of the challenges and everything that can go wrong, went wrong. But then there's the fourth step, the recovery, in which I build strength and resilience from all of those challenges. Step 5 is the battle, and that's the step that I really had to go into battle with myself, because I had to dig deep within myself to use those challenges as opportunities for growth and transformation. After that was the victory. So I did accomplish what I set out to do, so I was victorious. And step number 7 is coming back home, which for me represented, I thought I was going home to a country, but I was really coming back home to myself. I learned that happiness is a state of being. I think most of the times, including myself, we think we look for happiness outside of ourselves. What I learned is that happiness is not that way, it's this way. So happiness, it's not even a direction, it's a frequency. So being in the frequency of self-love is really all that we need to do. One of my taglines is that everything begins and ends with self-love. What I do is reconstructing the relationship that I have with myself has become a daily practice for me. Understanding what self-love is was the first thing I had to do. And when I understood that self-love is the foundation by which I am connected to my heart, to my body, to my mind and my soul, then I started understanding that it's a lot deeper than what I thought it was. Cultivating those areas of self-love had to become a daily practice for me. The other thing that I found out about self-love, that there are things that gets in the way of us loving ourselves. And I had to find out what those things are. So I had to go within the subconscious. I had to be trained to take a look at what's going on in the subconscious and deal with those issues. Because when we don't have congruence between our conscious and our subconscious, then we're usually working against ourselves. We're practicing active betrayal of ourselves. So I had to do the work to align both my conscious and my subconscious states. The message that I always want to send is that everything begins and ends with self-love, because no matter what we're trying to accomplish in life, no matter what we are creating for ourselves, the success and fulfillment of that has to be filtered through a tiny little circle of how much we love ourselves and we're connected to ourselves. So I urge people to be curious what is getting in the way of them loving themselves. Be willing to do the work. Be willing to invest in yourself so that you can get to the bottom of the things, the past traumas, your insecurities, your fears, so that you are able to align to your conscious state. This is so important, because when you do that, you show up for yourself unconditionally. You be who you are unapologetically, and you live your life authentically.
Anne-Marie's journey reminds us that true happiness doesn't come from where we are or what we have, but from within. By learning to love herself first, Anne-Marie not only changed her own life, but is now helping others find their joy, peace, and purpose. Thank you, Anne-Marie, for inspiring us to embrace self-love and reminding us all of the incredible strength that lies within each of us.